right, Rick Lilley here at Fire River Music in Southern Oregon in Grants Pass. It's a real fabulous little music store that there's a lot of information and great workmanship from Kurt Orton, who's just an absolutely fabulous guitar setup guy. Makes great bone nuts for acoustics and electric guitars. All kinds of, he can fix anything, he can set everything up. Everything of my own that I own, he does the final on, because I think he's the best I've ever met. That being said, there are also a lot of other people around here that have been, really expert people. I've been playing for 50 years and I haven't met people that were accessible to me that know as much about whether it's pickups or acoustic guitars or just a million things. That being said, I've been playing Telecasters and Stratocasters for 50 years now. Bought a lot of really rare guitars back in the late 60s and early 70s when I started to play. And I, many of them, and frankly, most of those guitars sounded great. I wish I could turn back the clock and have those guitars again, because not only were they valuable, but those pickups and those the workmanship on the old guitars is something that will never again really be, in a manufacturing sense, it's not going to be available much, other than unless I make a parts caster or something like that. As far as the quality of things, I've been trying to come up with improvements to the Stratocaster and the Telecaster circuit, because there's things I've noticed in the circuits that I think needed work. For the most part, Telecasters and Stratocasters, as they sit stock with one capacitor, are not adequate to make all pickup selections sound good. So I've made some mods that are going to be available, which we'll give you the link to, for not only the Stratocaster. There's this set of 3 potentiometers. The 2 of these capacitors are really capacitors that I found that I think sound the best. They happen to be Russian caps that are, we won't get into the values, but there's a couple things going on with this circuit that allows you to get more clarity out of the front pickup and really remove some of the shrillness on the treble pickup, so that you can have 1 amp sound and get the guitar to sound great in all the different pickup selections. And pretty well, people have been unanimous in liking these. These are not terribly expensive, and we'll talk about price when you inquire about it, but these are available at Fire River Music, and they're also going to be available on the Thomas Allen site and my ricklilley.net site. They're something that I think is an improvement in general, and everybody agrees. We're using all the same components that Fender uses, CTS potentiometers, although I think I use better caps than they do. The cloth wire and the Fender switch, and the product of probably 100 times taking a Stratocaster apart. I'm not so much the electronics guy, but I'm a guy out there playing all the time, constantly testing, and my quest has been to be able to get a great sounding guitar with 1 amp sound. That is, I'm not having to do channel switches. I like pedals. I have pedals sitting up here for the demos of these guitars, and I haven't even turned any of the pedals on. That being said, the benefit when you use them, I don't think there's a better set of pickups out there than the Thomas Allen Strat and Tele sets. I have them in my personal stuff. I think they're the best. They're also really reasonably priced. They're quiet. They have all they can, any of the sounds of your heroes, they do. Whether it's a country music thing or a rock thing in a Telecaster. I like the fact that I can do something to my guitar with the tone control and like every pickup selector. I've taken the screws out of this Telecaster so that I can show you the mod plate on the Tele. Like I said, we've done a couple tricks with the volume of the tone knob on this guitar, so that it takes it out of the circuit when we turn it up all the way, so that it, as they say, unloads it, gives you a little boost in output, and also gives you full frequency, bass and treble. It sounds like a boost. at the volume knob because of what I can do with the tone knob. This is not hard to do. Let's just say I was watching a Joe Bonamassa video the other day, and he was making a joke about these two little things on the guitar. They're called knobs that you have to play with. A lot of people go out there and they play with the guitar almost essentially all the way up and the tone control all the way up all the time and wonder why it doesn't sound good. Frankly, you have to listen to it, get the guitar to work with your amplifier. Not hard. I exhort you to take a look. But all I want you to understand is that in light of the fact that a Telecaster is known for sounding thin, this one doesn't, because of the mod and because of these pickups. Now, I like pedals like the next guy does, but I don't want to have to be dependent on them. I want to be able to turn the guitar down if I'm singing, turn it up and be able to play a solo. I don't have to hit some button or channel to sound good. I can be comfortable at any volume with clarity, fullness, the signature sound. It's not going to be noisy. There's just 1,000 attributes that make this a pleasure to play. I can get this guitar to sound, when I turn the tone knob down on this treble pickup, it sound almost Gibson-y. Turn it up, it's the Telecaster again. And even when it has that tone knob dimed as I have it right here, it still sounds full and warm. That's a Thomas Allen attribute, but it's also this mod. I had the screws taken out so you see that the simplicity of let me just say that in a general sense, when you're playing a Fender Strat or Telecaster, in my opinion, it needs to be shielded. This guitar, of course, is shielded with shielding tape. You can use paint. There's a number of things. And then you also have to use really good quality components. We use CTS potentiometers in these mods. And this particular one also uses 2 tone caps. Without getting technical about that circuit, it's not what Fender does, but it does what Fenders do better with versatility. It's a pretty well, again, it's the sum of a whole bunch of disassemblies and assemblies of the guitar, lots of testing, loud, clean, low volume, recording, everything, so that the sound is integrated across the board. I can use whatever pickup selection I like, and I can confidently, even if I make a mistake and I'm performing and hit the wrong selection, I'm not going to have it go, oh my gosh, there's that too bright a sound or whatever. I'm going to be able to take this thing and make it work for me. Most of the time, people don't tend to choose the front pickup on a Telecaster. Too dark. It just doesn't have enough top end. Because of the cap setup we have on the mod, it does. It's almost like a Strat front pickup in many ways. video here. I was getting into the sound of that guitar so much. I just love the sound of these pickups. You got to check these out. Thomas Allen. This is Rick Lilley here in Fire River Music in Southern Oregon. Come check these out. Thanks.